Hi guys, my name's Antony Cummins. I'm here to do a book review today, and I'm going to review Thomas Cleary's Secrets of the Japanese Art of Warfare from the School of Certain Victory. Okay, that's that book. It's just come out. It's by Twiddle, and it was recently published. The inside cover, let's have a look. The inside cover is really quite nice. It's black and gold. Well, more of a light yellowish. We're around about 150 pages. Now, what it is based on is it's based on a military document from which is attributed to Yamamoto Kansuke. If you don't know who Yamamoto Kansuke is, he's really quite a famous person in the world of Japanese military, and it's a short treatise on Heiho, or the arts of war, with his name at the end. Now, is it a good book? I've been dying to get this book. The minute it came out on pre-order, I pre-ordered it. You should always pre-order books because they're cheaper anyway. So, now, what I'm going to do first is I'll go through, just give you a read of some of the table of contents. So here we go. So, 5 trainings in the art of war, 3 destructions, practice and learning the conduct of a martial artist, soldiers and generals, martial arts and military science, martial arts and medicine, arts of war with Shinto, Confucianism, Buddhism. Now you got wrestling, boxing, encounters, grappling on your back, drawing swords, sword checking. I'm just skipping a load here. Left position, right position, spears, middle positions, low positions. There's lots of like martial arts in it. Then it gets so most of it is basically martial arts, but then it gets to archery, firearms, which are very small. Human advantages such as the spirit and the mind, the 2 assessments, observing the colour of the enemy's face, 2 against 1, 1 against many, fighting in a crowd. Then there's another scroll called Airs of Terrain, things like that. So you get the idea, and I'll go through a couple of them. So, first of all, the first problem I had is that the name of the document is not even in there. So he translates the document, but maybe I've missed it, but there's no name of the document. So there's also, it says, from the School of Certain Victory. Which school is that? I'm sure with a bit of research in Japanese I can find it, but I prefer it to be in English and actually in the book. Again, if I've missed it, I apologise, but I couldn't find it. Now let's look at the first few things. Right, the first little green thing I've got here is one of the problems I found. Now, apparently this is attributed to Yamamoto Kansuke, who's actually from the Sengoku period. Now, the problem we've got here is it says, in his words, in Kansuke's words, it talks about the Koyo Gunkan. And again, I've not checked it, but as far as I'm aware, the Koyo Gunkan was published way after he died. So Yamamoto Kansuke could not have talked about it. But again, not sure. Try to get rid of them. Right, so let's skip a bit of it, and it talks here about wrestling, and there's images involved, and apparently these are the original images. And for example, A is coming along unaware. B acts as if he's going to pass by, then grabs A by the throat with his right hand and puts his left hand in the small of the back and lays him down, as in the illustration. It's this one, by the way. There we go. So there's lots of that. It goes on to swordsmanship and positions. Let me try and get you to so for example like this. Now I won't read a lot of them because it's generally like stand in this position, fight like this, do this. The problem we've got though is it's lots of, you have to work it out, like A versus B does this. Then when you go to the next part, it'll say something like go to the last section and it's also applicable in the same ways as it was applicable then. So you have to go back to the section, read it again, go forward a section, and then work it out. So it's not spelled out very plainly. But if you spend some time on it and work it out, yeah, I'm sure you'll find it. Then, for some reason, the drawings go a little Chinese. I'm not sure why they changed from Japanese to Chinese. And it goes through spear, as I've said, blah blah blah, spear. But then it starts getting to the, for me, what's the more interesting stuff. Like, for example, the scroll of human advantages. So this is mind and spirit and mind, body, spirit type stuff. So the one mind, the two bodies, assessing things. The frame of mind you should be in, observing the colour of someone's face, observing the sound of their voice. Here we go, many against one. So for example, striking on an onrush. To strike someone who rushes at you, he cannot be hit head on. So it is advantage to him to let him rush past you and strike the adversary from his behind right. So as they're charging him, you move out of the way, go to his right and attack from behind and on his right. And that's what it's saying doing. And then of course Thomas Cleary put some notes at the bottom of each one. Sometimes there are more notes than actual scroll, so you get the impression that the scroll is quite small. Advantages of terrain, which I think is brilliant. So we've got advantages of human. So basically it's earth, heaven and man really. Terrain, fighting on narrow paths, fighting on slopes. Let me try and find it out. Right, for example, fighting on a slope. In a contest on a slope, it is advantageous to be on higher ground. First, it is the advantage of looking down on the enemy. Second is the advantage of ease in advancing on the enemy. Third is the advantage of having no danger above you. Nevertheless, even though you're on higher ground, if the footing is bad, you should not get out of that spot. In getting out, there are 3 guidelines to understand. First, go to higher ground. Keep it behind you, keep calm, and don't step too high. Second, to dodge to the left or right, be actively alert and step lightly. Third, go to lower ground, you should run like the wind. If the enemy pursues you, your advantage is in sidestepping and striking. The advantage is the fact that his momentum of running down the hill can't be halted at will. So he'll probably go right by you, therefore it's advantageous. You see what I'm saying up here. Right, so cool. Fighting on an open road. Fighting on stone stairs, across a gateway. So just to give you a good idea of what's in here. However, my favourite one is this, part 10, which is advantages of the sky. So the seasons, so fighting on a dark night. So when fighting on a dark night, keep low, understand the enemy's silhouette, or look at it, and figure out what form of weapon he's wielding, if there are any obstacles and where they are, that type of thing. Fighting in the moonlight. This is excellent. When fighting on a moonlit night, keep in the dark while getting your opponent to face the moon. The advantage is that you remain hidden, exposing your enemy to the light and the view. There's also fighting in rain and fighting in thunderstorm, blah blah blah. So, is it a good book? To be honest, I think anybody who's serious about martial arts history, about samurai warfare research, these Tootle books are superb. They're only about 10 quid and they're hardback, and it's, who doesn't want a translation? But my only problem is this is a bit, you can read it in a couple of hours and that's fine, but it's, unless you actually physically go out, get a sword, get your sword, get your friends and work it all out, rereading it is a bit boring. You have to go and use it. Second to that is, there's no real background about it. Like, everybody in Japanese lineage used to say, oh, our school was attached to such and such a place, and some are dubious, some are not so dubious, some are real. You have to do a lot of research to tell. And this one, it's like, it's written by Yamamoto Kansuke. It's like, okay, was it? Well, first of all, there's too many things in there that they're talking about that are really Edo period. So it's like Edo period stuff, so you're thinking, was it really him? Maybe. Or maybe it was just passed on down the lines and it got influenced by Edo period stuff. But probably it wasn't written by Yamamoto Kansuke, but someone from maybe one of his descendants or one of his school descendants. That type of thing. So should you buy it? Yeah, of course you should. Simply because you should support, Japanese history and other authors. So again, Thomas Cleary. The only problem I have with people like Thomas Cleary is that a lot of these people have never done martial arts, and a lot of the notes they do, you're like, it's a bit of an academic's view. You know, he's swinging a piece of steel at someone. It's like not quite, you know, academic. But I enjoy it, so go buy it. My name's Antony Cummins, and I'm an author researcher. I'm also published with Tootle. I've got a book with these called True Path of the Ninja, and also we've just done a new book which is called In Search of the Ninja, which is historical information on ninja. What I and my team do is translate real ninja manuals, and we put them out to the public. So if you're interested, go to the links below. I'll put a link to my Facebook page and to the publications, and there's loads of free downloads on my website. So enjoy that. Enjoy the book. If anybody does any reviews with the book, please let me know. If anybody actually physically gets the sticks and the swords and gets it out, post them as a response video here. So enjoy. My name's Antony Cummins, and see you next time.